a government is run. You cannot run a government under the claims of going to create employment in another country. We want those employments here. We never voted you so that we can go and work in Saudi Arabia. And even what we see happening in those countries are activities and acts that does not portray humanity.
Exactly.
You find that our guys have gone to look for greener pastures in Saudi Arabia, but you see that somebody has been seriously killed. I'm taking this opportunity again to send a warning to this government. We have been seeing, we have been living, we have been experiencing the previous government since Kenya attained her independence. We saw Kenyatta working, even if we never saw, we read it in the history. There was no any other single day that Kenyatta left the country under the claims of going to create employment for Kenyans outside another country. We saw it when Moi came to power, when he was taking over from Kenyatta. Moi never traveled to another country under the claims of going to create employment for its citizens. We saw Uhuru taking over, Kibaki taking over. There was no any other single day that Kibaki went to Saudi Arabia or to any other nation under the claims of going to create employment for the youth in this country. The good example has been emulated by Uhuru Kenyatta. But I want to say that the government has portrayed as a failure. The government has incarnated itself in a manner that is appearing devilish. And therefore you are a devil incarnation.
What?
We cannot continue with this trend of deceiving people. The government has turned out to be mendacious, living in truth, in untruthfulness, rendering this nation to be an area state, rendering this nation to be a debacle state. And therefore, the time that Kenyans are feeling overburdened, instead of embarking on industrialization to bring employment home, you are boarding a plane to go and create employment in another country. I want to advise you, that is not how a government is run. You cannot run a government under the claims of going to create employment in another country. We want those employments here. We never voted you so that we can go and work in Saudi Arabia. And even what we see happening in those countries are activities and acts that does not portray humanity.
Exactly.
You find that our guys have gone to look for greener pastures in Saudi Arabia, but you see that somebody has been seriously killed. Some people have come back dead in coffins. That is not the kind of the government that we want to see in this country. And I want to tell you, we are citizens of this country. We are not going to run away from Kenya because Kenya has become hot because of bad governance.
Yeah.
We are entitled. And I want to say again to my brother Arun Cheriot, under his reaction, when he reacted to Raila under the ongoing dialogue talks, when he was putting demands that they are not going to withdraw the housing bill. They are saying that we should go back to the strike. We should resume demonstrations. I want to tell you, we never voted this government so that we live on the streets. We voted the government so that we can live in peace.
Correct.
We don't want to see a Kenya that is violent. We don't want to live in a chaotic government. We want peace. And that is the reason as to why we said yes and we gave a nod to the ongoing dialogue. And therefore, Arun Cheriot, wherever you are a Kenyan. Don't assume that you have got bigger shares in this country than us. Your ID is written a Kenyan. We are Kenyans. You are not going to render us slaves. You are not going to oppress us in this country. You are not going to practice tribalism in this country as under our watch. We are going to prove that we also and we are equally Kenyans. Make a Kenya a country that is good even for your coming generation. Kenyatta led this country. He left it a good nation. Moi did the same. Uhuru did the same. Why do you want to put Kenya in a situation that we never wanted it to be? And therefore, Arun Cheriot, I want to tell you that if at all it was an issue of constitution, if we could be having good governance, you should be somebody who should now be under arrest because you have failed in what is called in the constitution leadership integrity.
Correct.
If you could give such kind of uncouth, careless utterances, and you know the situation that this country is, we want leaders who speak peace. We don't want to see leaders who speak violence. If Raila has given heed to national dialogue, we have seen leaders, the likes of Kalonzo, they are willing to bring back peace in this country. And you are busy telling us that we can resume our demonstrations. We are not going to demonstrate. We want to see that dialogue yielding fruit. Until you fail, that is when we will react. Thank you.